So I'm just trying to get in the practice of going live and sharing my process in real time. Let's see here. So yeah, if you're joining me, feel free to give some ideas for what we should make. I've got a new system going here, and I'm just going to be live until my pizza shows up. And if we're having fun, we'll keep going. But here we are, day 2. I lost I had this just running probably through my sleep, and ate up $15 worth of image generation. That's really fun. All right, let's see what we got here. Live streaming, casual attire, isolated environment, electronic setup. It didn't say anything about the pizza. Surprising. That's well, I mean, it got the first part of it. We're going to be having the nerdiest pizza party this side of the Mississippi. Yeah, that's pretty spot on. All right, let's stop this for a second. So let's experiment with, let's give this a little bit more iterations. We don't need these flying by. There's a better chance of me watching them or looking at the pictures. So yeah, I don't know what I'm looking to get done today. Those extra iterations seem to be helping a little bit. It's going to cost a little bit more, but whatever. All right. I had to sit through 3 hours of meetings today. My attention span has an average of 30 to 90 minutes a day, so I really don't know what I'm going to be doing here. Okay, yeah, this is, so I tweaked my prompt engineering, I guess you would say. I don't remember if I cleared this, so let's clear it just in case. So one thing I did is, so inside of here is where all the speech to text and ChatGPT stuff is happening. And so now I've got my first version of basically there's yesterday's and today. Since it's really hard to read in these table formats, let's see, this is, oh, where'd we go? So here's what's actually happening. Basically, I have a system message telling it the basis of what it's supposed to do. I have a request, and then here's like some guidelines for what it should or could be thinking about when it's trying to make a prompt, and then I give it a couple example prompts, and then I get another user request telling it to please just the prompt. Just the prompt, buddy. So let's clear this and see how we do. I'm looking for a sense of adventure because my life is boring and I feel incapable of doing anything about it, and I'm kind of sick of sitting at a computer. Okay, so it's got some adventure, but it's so it's really, it seems like it's basing the prompt off of the first thing I said. Like that last one, it totally missed the pizza party part. But if I start with that, then it's going to get it. So it'll be like, what did I say? Been sitting in boring meetings all day, and I didn't have time to make breakfast or do anything. So now I'm too hungry and too desperate for time, so I'm having pizza. Pizza is being delivered to my house. It's really important that I eat this pizza. So there I had the first half was about meetings, second half was about pizza. What did we get? Okay, well, I just said pizza 3 times, so I'm glad it picked up on that. Yeah. And it just totally rode the first thing about boring meetings. So it's just finding one thing to focus on and making images from that. That's fine. After talking with humans all day, I'm finally sitting down with my AI assistant. Life is great. That's what it's like. So yeah, if you're watching and you've never seen this before, I'm using speech to text. I'm using GPT-3 to convert that into useful prompts. I've got a couple text places where I can basically we've got illustrative design sketch, ink and pencil style, postmodernism, and I feed those into a merge, and so we're getting the AI output plus these consistent prompts that are going to be across every version. I'm sitting here at my desk where I've been sitting all day with an empty chat, waiting for anybody to interact with me because I'm kind of sick of myself. Yeah, what do we got? It also has instructions to just freely hallucinate and fill in the blanks if I'm not giving it very much context. Obviously didn't know what to do with the empty chat. It also has instructions to just build off the last prompt if it doesn't have much to go off of. I'm just living my best YouTube life. Let's see what it does with really minimal prompts. Okay, so one thing I changed is like I gave it 2 examples, and now it thinks to like start it with like a descriptive, like giving it a title and then doing the prompt. Well, probably just not breaking anything. I should probably figure out how to get it to stop ending its part with a period. I don't know if that's going to help. All right. If I were on Twitch, this could actually be interactive and people could be doing stuff in the chat. Adjusting this on the fly could be fun, but that's a website I think should maybe burn and start over. If you got anything you want me to try, let me know. Live streaming fun. So yeah, we're getting there. I don't even know if I'm gonna do anything on the TouchDesigner side here. I'm really just stress testing this. So I'll just keep recording and sharing my thought process and waiting for something to go right or wrong. I mean, like, what prompt would that be? I'd have no idea. Creative self-expression. Now it's, okay. So I'm starting a new music video, and I'm working in 3D, and I'm trying to make a puppet from this video recording, doing face tracking. That's cool. I actually like that. But what I need is individual monster face parts, macro close-up shots. I need really extremely close-up details of a hideous monster's eyes in really stark contrast, black and white ink drawing. I need these grotesque monster lips that are evil grin and dripping saliva and blood. Oh, what's up, chat? So the images are being, Jules, this is I'm just building off of Torrin Blankensmith, who built this Stable Diffusion integration. It's a computer renderer is the API that it's feeding into, and it's like 0.001 cents an image for like the lowest cost, and you know it can go up from there, but yeah, I'm still, this is like my second iteration on this whole thing. A couple weeks ago was using like Google's speech to text basic thing. I had an external script running in, and then I was using every word I said was being fed into this as a prompt. But then Torrent released a new thing using ChatGPT and Whisper which is their brand new speech to text, and it's way more accurate. And so I'm feeding that into ChatGPT, and I'll pull up, probably easier to see this. So there's a table. So whenever I do the speech to text, this will come in first, basically the prompt engineering portion of it, telling it that like it's a specialist in AI art generation. And I give it some instructions to be like, I'm just looking for, this is like what my process is. Giving it kind of some parameters, and then giving it some guidelines as to like what makes a good prompt, that I kind of just threw together really fast, and then a couple examples, and then me trying to brute force it to just output the prompt and don't be like, oh, I'd be happy to help. And that's where I left off yesterday. It was like that was kind of working, but could be better. And for the music video, like, yeah. So I don't know if I'm even going to be using. It's okay for the music video. I'm kind of going for like a Doom, just like pseudo 3D, because I'm not that comfortable with 3D in TouchDesigner. But so yeah, I'm toying with, do I want to actually use it in 3D or just do flat 2D stuff and tie them to individual points on the built-in face tracking? And like, I already kind of have that working. But then it's a matter of like, well, so I'm going to AI generate all of the textures for this and use audio to like swap them in and out and animate and stuff like that. That's all within my wheelhouse. All right, let's get some new prompts here. I need like just one UI for all this. So yeah, the goal is to have, because we just did like one take of him kind of like doing an animated vocal take. So if you tie, it'd be pretty easy to give it eyeballs, eyebrows, a nose, and lips, and then just have that on another flat surface, and just kind of get the general rotations, X, Y, Z, and then have a background that's also just layers of these textures. Let's see how long that takes to come back. God, okay, this whisper is fucking fast. And so yeah, I think at some point I want to run stable diffusion locally, because this is really, I don't think this API has the ability to swap out models yet, but it's just nice because it's so lightweight and it just gives a lot of overhead for building on top of it. And I was like starting to figure out how to integrate the whisper part into it, but like, I don't know. I supported Torrens his Patreon for $10 a month, and honestly, just like that's the smart way to go, rather than spending a week trying to do a shitty hacky version. And now I get to just spend time in a playground, and that's worth some money. There's plenty of things I've made from scratch. I'm over it. Get on to the fun stuff. So yeah, the other thing we can do here is image to image and iterate off of that. Let's get back into the monster stuff. So sometimes, like, since like ChatGPT is driving this, sometimes I can be like, let's go back to the monster prompt, but this time I want lips. Yes. yeah, it got grotesque and all those other things that we were looking at. Same thing, but let's get as close up as possible. Any words to help make it really zoomed in on the lips. Fuck yes. You're my rock star, robot. All right, I gotta keep an eye on my pizza. Make sure the monster is chewing on a pizza or a greasy burger. That is it. This is ADHD crack. Yeah, so I had put $20 in on the computer renderer API, and I've been experimenting on this for weeks and had spent like $4, and then I accidentally let this run like while I was sleeping and had to put some more money on it. But there is, somebody's made a stable diffusion component for TouchDesigner. I think it's called like TD Diffusion or something. I just haven't set that up yet. I've got stable diffusion running on another computer, but I don't have TouchDesigner installed on that. So I was just like, well, I'm curious in this instant gratification. But yeah, at some point I think I will just try to run it locally. It's just, you need a pretty good GPU for it not to be sucking most of the resources. So at that point, like, can you do audio reactivity on top of it? Like, how much headroom do you have once you're running stuff locally? So yeah, I mean, you could probably like do like a Google collab. I bet that's possible, but then you're running into, I mean, these are like kicking out images every couple seconds because you're renting somebody's at least 3080 or something. Dot simulate? I haven't heard about that. What is that? Let's make sure grotesque horror is in all of these. Let's see how that influences stuff. I'm just a normal person waiting for a pizza. Oops. I forgot to. Where's my record? I'm a totally normal person waiting for my pizza. Check him. So yeah, I mean, I can even pull up. Let's see how much. Yeah, I've spent less than 50 cents since I've been streaming this, and I upped the amount of iterations to. Stuff was looking pretty half-baked while I was just experimenting, but yeah, I mean, it's sure not free, but it's pretty cheap, and the OpenAI side of things is like, I don't know if I've spent $1 yet. So I don't know. If we're doing live streams and this stuff, or do like an art installation, it could be worth it. Cheaper than upgrading my graphics card or buying a new laptop. Yeah, these are flying by so fast. I'll have to rewatch the video to even see what it's turning out. Yeah, okay, I'll check him on Instagram. Well, is there anything you want to see before I'm gonna eat? I mean, I could stay on for a while, but I'm really just trying to get back in the routine of even sharing what I'm doing. I, especially if I'm not going to get any better about leaving the house or being in the real world, might as well get used to being in this online world. Jules, you use TouchDesigner? So, can I make sure these? I can't remember what else. I pretty much just use the same one. So you can download this Stable Diffusion side of things. That's available for free through Torrin Blankensmith's YouTube or Patreon. I hacked this one a little bit. Oh, it's pizza time. You mind hanging on? Hello? Alright, I'll see you in a sec. Yes. All right. Oh my God. Yeah, so point cloud stuffs. That's totally where it's at. So yeah, the only thing I modified about this is the fact that when it finishes, I just have it start over. Like, that's almost the only thing I changed. Yeah, it's just reversing the finished state as a pulse into a trigger to tell it to start again. All right. Well, I'm gonna have to sit and think about how I want. Do you know if there's like any good way of removing backgrounds? I have to figure out some prompts. I want to use this to like make these monster parts, but I probably should not do it through TouchDesigner. As fun as that would be, I could use some like shapes to like make the mouth and eyes, and then isolate those and record them. But I don't know. I got to figure out something about removing the background from these images so that I don't have to pull them into Photoshop and like manually edit all of them to have folders full of textures to be able to swap out. But that is for another day's worth of attention span. All right. Well, hey, thanks for jumping on and saying something. I'm going to eat some food. Maybe hop back on later when I've actually got some sense of direction. But yeah, peace.